You're the night sky trying to make me see your stars, but the dark gets so lonely. Now I see violet, I can feel silence, and the dark's all that I see when your stars have burnt out.
Hey fam, welcome to my new video. Thank you very much for clicking on my video and watching it. So in today's video, I am going to do some meal prepping and also some snack prepping. So it's very important for me that on days where I have no energy to cook, that there's something in my fridge or in my freezer to just grab. And so today I'm going to do a little bit of meal prepping. The past 2 years, I think, I have had a little bit of trouble with cooking not from scratch, because I didn't cook at all. So I mostly ate frozen dinners or microwavable dinners, and there's nothing wrong with that per se, but I like cooking my own food. I've always liked cooking my own food, and for a few years I sort of had a hiccup with that, if you will. So I recently started cooking again, so maybe 8 weeks ago, give or take, and I really enjoyed it. I think the reason that I had a lot of trouble with cooking my own meals was that there were so many rules I had in my head. I wanted the meal to contain at least 200 grams of veggies, and I wanted to have a meal that was within a certain amount of calories, and I was looking at the proteins and stuff. And all those rules made it pretty difficult for me to have a meal that was acceptable in terms of the things that I just mentioned, like veggies and stuff, but was also just enjoyable. And another thing that also played into it was that I was not happy with the state of my kitchen. So for what I'm used to, my kitchen was not clean enough to just comfortably work in. I have neglected my house chores the past few years, and right now I'm on top of them again, and so my kitchen finally feels just clean enough and good enough to be cooking in again. So that's what I have been doing, and for me it's, like I said, very important to just have something that I can grab on days where I don't have the energy to cook or whatever. And still, I do not cook every day. I grab a frozen meal every other day, give or take, so I cook maybe 50% of the time. But last week I just felt like cooking, and it was a great experiment for me too, to see how do I enjoy cooking itself, and how do I enjoy the meals that I make in my kitchen. And so I have been eating a few meals of the things that you will see me make in this video. And I have to say that I really liked this meal prepping. So that's something that I will be doing. And also the snack prepping is something that I have been doing for a few months now. And that's something that really helps me, because I don't have to think about what is the right portion for me to grab and what am I going to eat for a snack. Hey, no, that's the cat bed, come on. I just wanted to pop in and tell you about that really quick. So yeah, have fun watching the video, and I'll be back for the outro, because again, this is a video. I was expecting it to go into this vlog style video that I made, but that ended up being 30 minutes long, and I was yeah, no, I'm not going to put this in there too. So you will see me for the outro too. I hope you like this video and have fun watching. Hey Lamb fam, so today I am doing some meal prepping. It's October 10th. I am also drinking my Monster, or at least some of it, whilst cooking. Hey, Toby, down. I will be preparing 2 meals, and it will make me about 4, maybe 5 meals. So the first meal I'm going to do is with the stuff that I bought 1 video back, or maybe 2. So it's this stuff, and it says to just cook some chicken, pour it in, and eat it with rice. But I want to up the veggies, and so I have cut up 3 peppers, and I'm first going to cook or saute these ones. So let's do that first. Na zdrowie. This is one of my bigger pans. I also have that one, but I want my pan to have some surface. So let's pour in some olive oil, and no, I'm not afraid of olive oil. Plus, this thing also has this top, which makes not too much come out. And I'll wait for it to heat up a little bit, and then I'll pour in or throw in the peppers. In. There you go. Pan was definitely not hot enough. And let's throw them around a little bit so they get all covered in a little layer of oil. I love these electric things because normally when I was cooking I would be struggling with getting like the salt and pepper things work because it took so long to just get a little bit out. I hated it. Some pepper, actually a lot of pepper.
6.5 hours later.
Yep. Like I said, a lot of pepper. So the peppers have cooked for a little bit. I like them to have quite a bit of a bite. I'm going to set them apart back in the plate where they came from. So again, some oil. Chicken that I just cut up. It's about, I think, 400 grams or so. I am seasoning this with only salt and pepper. I am going to cook this until it's just right. I don't want it to go too far because I will not eat this tonight, so I will heat it up the coming few days, and so I don't want it to be overdone. The chicken is ready, so I'm going to put it in another pan. I'm going to add the peppers and I'm going to add this thing, like the sauce. Okay, so I decided to just try to do it in this pan, so hopefully it will fit. I have the peppers, the chicken and the sauce. So let's mix this up. Many nights we pray, our hopeful song will barely something. We are moving mountains, though we barely knew we could. Now we are not afraid. Okay, so this is done. I am going to portion it out in 3 portions. If I look at like the volume of it, I think it will be good for 3 portions. So when I'm going to eat it, I will cook the rice like that evening. I don't like my rice to be overdone. So yeah, let's portion it out and let's start my second dinner. That will also be the dinner that I will be eating tonight. These are my 3 portions. I am going to wrap them all in this plastic wrap. And once they're cooled off, I'm going to store them in the fridge. And that will be good for some meals. So the second meal will be pretty easy. I have 2 other chicken breasts like I just used to. And these are the other 2. I have seasoned them with my favorite spicy chicken spices. This time, since I'm not adding extra veggies, I'm just going to use my wok. Then I'm using this mixture. It's like corn and beans and some other stuff, and also a little bit of spiciness in this mix. So it's just chicken, mixing this in, and then I'm going to make some tortillas with those. So yeah, let's get that going. The wok is nice and steamy, so let's plop the chicken in. And always when I'm cooking this, I sometimes have to cough because the spices will be in the air and it will be so heavy that it sometimes makes me cough. But I think that's normal. I hope so. Also, I changed up my Monster Energy with some water. This is the bottle of my water enhancer, but it has just water in it. And I stored my Monster with this aluminium on it, and I really hope that it will save the carbonation. Yeah, we'll see about that. So the chicken is barely done, but last few times it was a little bit too dry for my liking, and they will spend some time in the oven anyway, so it's fine. So I have my chicken going to add my bean mix. On the bottom are those big beans, so let me take a fork to get those out, like the big kidney beans. And going to mix up that too. Ow, I burned myself. That's the stupid thing about looking through my camera while cooking. It's a bit of a danger hazard. I should just have my tripod, and I do have my tripod, but I don't know. When editing and also when looking back videos, I like the handheld style. But yeah, comes at a price. Also, my hands are always full of spots and things, and my hands are always horrible, full of cat scratches and things and stuff. I do a lot of things with my hands, and I'm not the brightest when it comes to sharp things and stuff. So yeah, I cut myself pretty often actually. So I'm just going to let this sit on low heat and I'm going to take out my tortillas. I am going to make one because as with my other meals, I don't like to make a tortilla and then heat it up because it will be soggy and stuff. So I'm going to make just one, and then once I want another one, like maybe in like a few days, I'll just build it up from scratch again. Yeah, that's not a lot of trouble and it's fine. By the way, if you live alone like me, I buy these tortillas in packages of like 6, and every time that I plop them into the freezer, they would stick together and oh my god. So what I did is I put them in the freezer and then I take this little like sandwich baggie, and between every tortilla I put one of these so they don't stick together. You don't have a broken tortilla when you want to eat. This works perfect for me, at least. So I will build my tortilla up. I hope that it will be filmed right. I do have you guys on my tripod. We'll see if it works. So first some crème fraîche, which I love and I'm very generous with it. Then secondly, I'm going to add some cheese. I have some cheese in my freezer, so let me find that. It's this old cheese. It is frozen, but that's fine. It will melt in the oven. And by the way, this is where the calories are. There was a time where I would just do it without the cheese, because I'm also going to put some cheese on top. But that's also one of these food rules. Like, it's okay for my dinner to have a little bit or a lot more calories than usual for just one night. As long as I don't eat this every day, it's fine. It's totally fine. Some iceberg lettuce. Love the crunch too. And then finally the bean mixture with the chicken. Like I said, it's a big meal, but that's fine. I can use a big meal. I was in the store grabbing some ingredients like this thing and the lettuce. And I remembered that I totally forgot to eat my second snack, which is something that I try not to do. So later this night I will think about like, what am I going to do about it? I don't want to miss it, so I'll have to eat it later, but I'm going to make it just a little tiny snack. Maybe one of my like chocolate toffees or something. I have to say this one is a little fuller than normal. Oh my god. I really struggle with getting it closed. Okay, maybe a little too much. So I'm going to transfer it to a oven sheet. I grabbed some new paper, but I can totally use that one. Okay, let's stuff it back in. I'm adding some more of the crème fraîche, which will make the cheese stay on top. So this is what I will be eating tonight. I'm going to put it in the oven and I'll show you the finished product once it's done. Again, I'm going to cover my leftovers with some plastic wrap, and that will be good for another meal and then some. So let's clear up this kitchen because it's a bit of a mess. So this meal has been sponsored by my lovely and loyal dishwasher. So yeah, thanks again, dishwasher. Like I said, oh my god, I am happy with that thing every single day that I use it. So here's my 4 leftovers. So yeah, let's grab my tortilla out of the oven. It has exploded, by the way, I just saw. This is what my tortilla ended up looking like, and it looks pretty good. I am hungry. Bon appetit, eet smakelijk. Misters, have you finished your dinner yet? That's not dog food. That's human food, lovelies. Come on. Oh, they're so cute. Got your tongue? Come on. I'll be drinking water. I'm going to refill this. And yeah, that's what I will be having for dinner. That was my food prep. And I will be eating... Hey, no. I will be eating some home-cooked fresh meals for the next coming days. That saves me a lot of effort and time in the long run. And it makes it easier to just stick to healthier eating than just grabbing something... Hey, than just grabbing something on the go. So yeah, I'm going to eat. Yuki, you cannot be up there. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Whoop. It's the next day and yesterday I did my meal prepping and today I want to do my snack prepping. In the past I was absolutely not able to keep sweets in the house because if I would inch, it would just all be gone in a matter of like hours. However, I do not have inches like I used to have anymore, so I am able to just keep sweets in the house now. I have some candies right here. I am not going to touch those. I would usually store them in one of these glass jars. However, all of them are full and they are sitting there just in case my nephews come over or if I babysit or whatever. And once that happens, I will open them. But for now, no need to touch them. So these are already individually wrapped, and usually when I have a snack and I want some chocolate, like a Kit Kat or something, I take one Kit Kat, and then in the back there are mini Snickers, and I usually take one Snickers and one Kit Kat. And then I also have these little candies, 2 jars actually. And sometimes after dinner I like to have one. And sometimes I also just eat one as a snack or with something as a snack. Then I have some chips. I do have more chips, but this is the kind that I like the least. And so once this is gone, then I'll replace it with some new bags of chips. But also individually wrapped. I love stuff individually wrapped. It's a bit more expensive, but it does save a lot of mental trouble for me. And that's why I like to choose those items. And on top here is my quote-unquote healthier snack box. It holds cookies with a little bit more fiber, and these are the ones that I like to eat in the mornings. But like I said, already portioned out. And then this is the basket that I wanted to tackle today. There are some things in here that have to be portioned out. In here we have some cookies. I think I'm going to just eat these today, or at least 3 or 4 maybe, because I have these for a long time and I am kind of tired of them, and it also takes up some space. So that would leave me with this basket, which is fine. Yesterday my mascara came in, and this is also something that I ordered with my mascara. Yeah, it's something over here that has to do with a holiday that's coming up, but I want to portion these out. And then when I went to the store yesterday, the supermarket, I bought this one. So this is one of the instances where I sometimes do count calories, not every time, but I like to just calculate them one time for an item that I do not have any idea of what is the proper amount to eat for a snack. So for my evening snack, I like to eat around 200 calories, and I calculated that that is around 6 little squares of this chocolate. So this is going to be 6 portions. I want to portion this out, and the kruidnoten. That's how we call these things. And then my other snacks are already individually wrapped. I do have some more kruidnoten, which are also individually wrapped in a little packet. And then some bigger Kit Kat and Snickers for when I want just one of the bigger ones. So yeah, these are good to go. By the way, I just had my breakfast, so that's also something that I make sure of. If I do something like this with food, I like myself in a place where I have eaten, because if I would do this when I had a little bit of cravings, or maybe around my snack time or lunchtime or whatever, I would probably struggle with not just having some chocolate or whatever. So that's why I'm doing it right now. So this is what it looks like. And like I just said, if I would not have eaten, I would probably just eat the little side pieces. Right now, I don't have any problem with just leaving them. So I'm going to grab a knife and separate them in little squares of or blocks of 6 squares. So I want to put every piece in its own bag, and I don't like to be wasteful. However, I have chosen to be a little wasteful here, because this method of storing snacks, it saves me so much mental struggle and stuff that, I decided it's worth it. So these are the 6 baggies, and they will be easy to grab. I don't have to think about it in the moment. This style of storing my snacks, it works really, really well for me. And I did not do the calories for this, because I have no idea about the amount of calories and what the portion sizes are. So I am going to calculate the calorie portions, give or take. I will store them and I won't look at the calories again. Okay, so it says for 100 grams it is 482 calories. So that means 10 grams will be, give or take, 48 calories. So I think I'm going to store them in portions of 40 grams. So 12 of these are about 40 grams. So I'm going to grab my baggies. So I have 3 of them left, and in the past it would give me an error. I would just grab them and eat them as I'm standing here. And right now I'm just okay, I have 3 left. Let's put in 1 extra in some of the bags and it's fine. I'm also not going to write these ones have 13 and then these ones have 12. It's fine to have a little bit more or a little bit less. So yeah, I also managed to cramp my big Kit Kats into one of the jars. And so that is going to save me some space. And also I do have quite some snacks, so I am going to note to myself, like, I do have enough snacks for the coming few months. So I'm not going to buy any new ones for, the near future. It still gives me pleasure or a thrill to buy stuff, like sweet stuff. However, since I'm eating it at a way lower pace, I'm sometimes just left with quite some candies and quite some snacks. So for now, like I said, I'm just going to leave it with this and not buy any new snacks. So that's it for now, and I'll talk to you later. Okay, so it has been a few days. I just filmed the intro. And remember me saying, like, I really have to slow down on the snacks? Yeah. So that over there is just dog food, but I have a lot of these, like, cups. The mini cups of, like, the Ben & Jerry's. Those are also really nice for a snack. Hey, don't lick it. So yeah, I also have a bunch of these for snacks. I had an order and they came in today. I could have changed it. And I didn't. So yeah, I also do have a lot of snacks right there. Just wanted to be honest about that. As you see, I have restocked my chips. And also in the back, I found some pistachios in another cupboard. And so I transferred it to this cupboard. And I also, together with the chips, I also had some popcorn. So that's also something that has changed about, like, my snack cupboard. Hey Lamfam, so it's me again. So those were the meals that I prepped, and I have to say, like, with the second meal that I made, the tortillas, my eyes were definitely bigger than my stomach. Like, that's something that we say in Dutch. I don't know if it's also something that you say in English. I guess so. Like, I think I've heard it before. But so I was full to the point that I was like, this is a little bit too much. So next time I will be trying to make 3 tortillas, and maybe, like, I hope you are not sick of me saying tortilla. I don't know, I like the sound of tortilla with the R. So yeah, that's something that you might have noticed. But I'm going to try to make 3 out of the mixture that I use instead of 2. Like, I'm really, really used to just make 2. But every time that I eat one, I'm like, oh, this is like... It's not that I'm overly full, but I am a little bit too full for what I like. So I'm going to try that next time. So that was it for today's video, and I hope you liked it. I will be back next week with some fun things. At least for me, they're fun. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe if you like this content, I guess. And I'll hopefully see you next time. Bye, Lamfam.
You're the night sky trying to make me see your